Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've been trying to get this one specific video done. I was trying to make a script for it, but I realized I work a lot better when I'm just let myself ramble. So before we get on to the main part of the video where I'm going to be talking about the actual story of my Warrior Cat story, I just want to thank everyone for the kind words on my other two videos where I redesigned the characters from the story, because I was going to move everything to a new channel and basically start from scratch there, but I decided to stick around here. And I just really appreciate that people really like these goofy little characters. My middle school self would be screaming. And if you'd notice, I made some little animations at the start, and there will be one at the end of the video too. These took a while to make, and it's a new character, for which I'll probably make like other videos with and on. But they're not important. The actual art of the video is just gonna be me redesigning Speckled Song and Almond Heart, because I look at the designs I made in the old videos and I hate them with a burning passion. So we've got some new videos, or new redesigns actually, and new art, and we'll just jump right into the actual storytelling. And I hope y'all enjoy my wacky little rambles and are able to follow along. So the story has had a big change from when I originally wrote it. It used to be a really big kind of mashup of a lot of old story plots from the actual Warriors books. And I tried to make something a little more original, but I did take inspiration from actual events that happened in canon. So I will try to explain it with as much clarity as I can. But the basic overall gist of it is that in this story, the original clans, which is not revealed to be the actual canon clans or my own other fan clans, but those original clans were destroyed by StarClan because they viewed that the clans had, strayed too far from StarClan. So they basically nuked the clans and only left a few survivors to rebuild the clans in hope that this would fix everything. It is unclear whether, or at least right now, it's unclear exactly like how many cats there were surviving. But, and this rambling is gonna be very, very, iffy, because I don't know how to explain things. Sorry. But those surviving cats had to travel to a new territory, obviously, because StarClan nuked their old territory. Right? So, as they were traveling, they split up into 5 groups. And they gathered cats along the way, obviously. So, the new clans originally started with a couple clan cats and a lot of strays, these kitty pets who decided they wanted to join the new clans, rogues and loners who all went, sure. And they split up into 5 groups. They split up into the 4 clans that Speckled Song lives with. If I can remember all their names off the top of my head, is Hawk Clan, Flood Clan, Cave Clan? And I think one of them was Rock Clan. I don't know. I'll put them up on screen when I get the actual clans. But obviously Speckled Song is part of Hawk Clan. And those clans will be, and the reason that I specify what clan she's in will become a bit more apparent. But there's also technically a 5th clan, and it's sort of like Sky Clan, but not really, where it's tied to the original clans, or, well, tied to what I'm going to label my Fan and Forest clans. And that is a mountain colony, and they are just referred to as the Mountain Cats by the clans, but they call themselves the Mountain Colony. And this is a group that's split off from the actual clan cats and said, we're gonna go live in the mountains. we think StarClan screwed us over here. And obviously, no one was going to stop them, so they split their ways. And the 4 new clans were established in this sort of like area that's borders, it's like forest and prayer and like a more fieldish area. But the actual territory looking bit isn't important here. It's only been about 3 generations since the original clans were made. So it's actually highly plausible that cats that were around when the new clans were made are still living, but they're probably elders at this point. But StarClan is already feeling that the clans are screwing up. Again, they're falling into old habits where they're fighting too much, there's too much battles, they feel like they're straying too far from StarClan again. So StarClan is planning to basically nuke them again, but this time they're not planning to give them warnings to try to fix themselves. They just feel they're hopeless. But there's a couple cats in StarClan who see that there is still good in the clans and they want to, protect the clans. So they basically, in secret, picked prophecy cats to try to fix the clans and save the clans from more destruction. And there are 5 prophecy cats. 1 from each of the Fan and Forest clans, and Speckled Song, who is an outlier. And why Speckled Song is an outlier is kind of interesting. Wait a second. Oh, I completely forgot this. Why did I forget this? There is actually, I think there's either 3 canon clans, 3 Fanon living clans, and then a 4th separated clan, or 4 living clans and then a 5th destroyed clan. But either way, it's not important. Ignore the fact that I forgot it. It doesn't matter what but there is a 5th clan that, and this was like the big event that made StarClan start being like, oh, we're gonna nuke them again. It was when this clan, and I do remember this clan's name, it was Thicket Clan. Thicket Clan? Thicket Clan. We're calling it Thicket Clan. One of the other clans basically went in and destroyed Thicket Clan, causing this clan to basically have to disband. All of the cats ran. They either joined the other clans, they went and become rogues or loners. Some of them went on to become kitty pets. But whatever the case may be, this clan is no longer existing, and it was one of the big incidents that made StarClan go, yep, you know what, we're going to destroy this clan right now. Au revoir, we're going to destroy the entire forest. And along with that, at some point, StarClan decided they thought that the clans weren't worthy of being in StarClan. So there are a lot of clan cat spirits that just kind of wander the forest or were like forcibly sent to the dark forest. And that actually becomes an actual playing point later in the story. And it actually hits specific cats a lot harder than you think it would. Because one of those cats, sorry, I got a call and my phone decides it wants to be buggy, is Speckled Song's littermates. And Speckled Song plays a big role because she's considered to be the heart of the clans, basically. She's got a tie to every single clan through either blood or she's somehow shown that there is still goodness in the clan. And I'm not going to spoil the end because I plan to actually write this out and post it on Wattpad. And also I'm going to make animatics and maybe animations. But there will be a big event that happens. And remember the mountain colony? There will be a journey to the mountain colony, but it's not to bring them back, or it's not for any of those reasons. It is them going to the mountain colony to try to see, hey, what are y'all doing that made StarClan what's going on there? Do we need to go find these guys? Is that what we need to do? And they discover that the mountain colony is doing it right, and they actually have their own StarClan. And I will be making more of the mountain colony too, because I love the mountain colony. They're my babies. Now, a fun thing about all of the prophecy cats is that the prophecy cats all have, like, they kind of have powers, kind of think back to the Power of Three. But it's less they were given powers and then they get taken away, and it's more like, kind of like Goose Feather, there, where he always has this ability. And that ability for the prophecy cats is a lot of the prophecy cats is one of them can, like, basically kind of like summon the wandering spirits to their aid. I forgot which cat that was. And I'm not going to mention who the other prophecy cats are because they'll get their own videos when I redesign them. But I don't have all of their powers fully fleshed out yet. All I know is that one of them can just see the wandering spirits at all time. One of them is able to like, basically, quote unquote, summon them to her aid, which is the best way I can explain it. I know that's a power. My lights just did something. My lights are being wonky. That's not fun. And I'm gonna explain each power when I make those cats, except for Speckled Song, which I will probably do hers in, like, a big drawing video where, I don't know, I draw her using her power and then I explain the power and more of her role in the story, because she's, besides being the quote-unquote main character, she's got a big role, and there's a lot of stuff going on with her backstory that I feel needs its own video. Like, I can't just shove it all in one thing, and I really, really want to explain her backstory along with many of the others. But I do want to explain some fun story, little story things. Where cross-clan kits aren't actually, like, as bad as they are in the books. And it's mainly my thing is that I don't like how, like, basically inbred all the clans are. It sucks. So cross-clan cats and cats with rogues and kits being from, like, rogues and loaders and stuff isn't that uncommon, and it also isn't really uncommon for clans to take in like rogues and loners and kitty pets, especially Hawk Clan, who kind of prides itself on being very open. They're kind of like how like it's joked about ThunderClan just is basically made up of a bunch of rogues and loners now. Almondheart is actually a very good example of this because his father is from a wandering loner rogue group that tends to pass through the clans. And a lot of the time, or at least clan territory, and they usually tend to come to Hawk Clan because Hawk Clan is known for being very open and welcoming. They're known to help rogues and loners a lot. And there are a couple of cats in the clan who also still fall under that same thing. Like, there's another cat named Blazefer who is from the Destroyed Thicket clan. He's from the Destroyed Thicket clan. So he came here protected. And then there's another group of cats who Speckled Song actually brought in who are half Thicket clan, half loner. And it's a mother and her 3 kits. Think a little bit like Daisy, but not, which is kind of funny because her name originally was Daisy, I think. But her name isn't Daisy anymore. It's Apricot Light, or at least that's her warrior name. Her original name was Apricot. But so that's a fun little story detail that I think makes it a lot more interesting, and I don't risk accidentally inbreeding my own cats. Ugh. That would be bad. Stop giving me notifications. I'm just trying to record. By the way, speaking of that, if you are a fan, ignore that. I got a really, really bad sunburn over the weekend, and I keep the fan on because I'm still in pain. I cannot not get awful sunburns, apparently. If I am sunburnt, I'm just dying for like 3 days. But that's a fun story detail. And another fun story detail, or at least something that I think is fun, is that the clans kind of consider being a nursery queen, like a permanent nursery queen, more of an actual role than just being labeled as a warrior. And this is like the only added role in the Fanon Forest clans. As of the start of the story, that's the only extra role. The Mountain Colony actually has a bunch of extra roles, and they work very differently, so I'm also probably going to make that its own video where I explain how that goes, because, you know, it's really interesting. I think that it's really fascinating how this clan, this other group of cats works. Another fun fact that I want to mention before I run out of time is that the original 5 new leaders of the clans weren't actually given 9 lives, and only their deputies did once the original leaders died, because StarClan didn't consider them actual clans yet. So that's going to be all for this video. I hope you got some sort of idea of what the story is going to be like. And I'm going to try to make more of these as time goes on. So I hope you enjoyed and have a nice day.
And I don't deserve you, you deserve the world. Though it feels like we were built from the same dirt.